Sup everybody, welcome to the show. This week we talk through all the Game Week 7 talking points. Salah and Haaland blank, Saka hauls, while the Arsenal defence disappoint again.
We discuss our midfield options as we look to replace Eze and Semenyo, and should we have Chris Wood in our teams?
Get in touch and follow us at Tom and Will FPL. Like and subscribe. Let's do this. What's up, Will? What's up, mate?
Hey, hello Thomas. I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Back in lovely Lyme Regis with your mum and dad, mate. Their house. When I see your background, it looks so nice and cozy in there, man.
It's great.
Logs for the fire. Need topping up, by the way, mate. You know what I mean? Winter's coming.
There's a whole stack of wood right there. But we are looking. I'm actually looking forward.
Always got wood.
Always. We should have all had wood for the weekend.
Yeah, shouldn't we? Oh, okay.
What have you been up to?
I was late getting on. Had a little bit of drama.
What happened?
Got this massive A4 envelope through the post, like a wad of papers.
Right.
And I opened it up, and it's from the Metropolitan Police. And I was trying to piece it together. There's so many papers. I don't know what's going on. And it's basically, mate, I've been taken to court.
What?
That's what I was trying to figure out. It's saying basically back in April, January, February, March, April, I was done speeding on the Hammersmith flyover, right?
I know
30
it.
miles an hour.
I know it.
Doing 36, right? And they wrote to me and they were like, look, is this you? And I was like, yeah, fine, guilty as charged. Wrote back. Hadn't thought anything of it since. But they've written to me going, oh yeah, we're taking you to court. I'm like, what do you mean? Why? And I kind of thought that it had been done and dusted. But usually you say it was you and then they go, right, that's 3 points and £100 fine. I haven't had any of that. I haven't had any of that. And Shah is obviously livid, and she's like, it's because you've had too many points in the past, you prick, and now they're coming to get you. It's
How many points have you got?
Well, 3. I think I could be on, technically I thought I was on 3 with these. I thought technically I'm on 0 then, if they've not even given me these 3 yet. But I've had a lot of points in the past, and I'm only just clean. There was a point in time where I had 9 points on my license, and then I got a speed awareness course. That was just after I got married. We were supposed to be going on honeymoon, driving around America, and
I remember.
I almost lost my license for that, which would have been one of the quickest marriages in history, mate. Married in the August, divorced in the September.
No license.
So yeah, mate, it's a bit weird. It's freaked me out a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah,
what do you mean? Why are you taking me to court? What's going on?
Do you know what? I've got one.
So yeah, I'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of flare going on. It's getting all Star Trek in here with this flare, mate. I'll just get rid of it.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, hi Tom. I'll see you now.
Yeah. So,
mate, that's not what you want on a Monday morning. Jeez.
It's really not, mate. Caught me right off guard. It's just trying to sort my FPL team out. Do you know what I mean? Ain't got time for going to court.
Right.
Anyway, so everyone, welcome to this beautiful Monday morning. On today's show, we're going to be going through our Game Week 7 teams. We'll let you know how we got on. Marginally better than the previous week. We'll get into that. Still not quite smashing it, but hey, you could say we've what do they call it? You've stopped the bleeding. You clogged the bleeding. There's a term for that.
Stop the bleeding, I think. Yeah, there is a term for that.
We've plugged the hole.
Plugged the hole. Yeah, we've bunged the hole with something.
And we've got no Premier League this weekend. The international break is upon us, unfortunately.
I hate it.
Oh, don't we all, mate? What the hell are we supposed to do this weekend?
I've got nothing. What's the point? Just play the bloody kids international and let the Premier League and the Champions League run amok.
So yeah, I'm not going to look ahead to game week 8 just yet. We'll leave that to
Okay.
next week. But I will look at some early transfer thoughts that we've got. Maybe some players that we're looking at, we're mulling
Hmm.
over this international break. We'll let you know how the teen machine got on this week.
Yeah.
Another decent week for the teen machine in our teen takedown. But first, let's have some listener questions.
Yes.
We got a question from Chris in Worthing. It's for Will. Will, I hear it's your 40th birthday this week. Yes, it is. When are we all coming round for a party? He would like to know.
Yes, indeed. It is on Wednesday. I can't quite believe it. It's somehow I've
Don't
been
look it,
alive.
mate, do you? That caught me off guard. I totally thought you were 39 this year.
Well, you've been saying for
Because you don't
years.
look it.
He's been saying for years when we used to work with each other for years, like even when I wasn't even close to 30, he would be there going, you would never think, he'd always say to the makeup artist and like or trivia, you never think that he was 35, eh? And I was like, I'm not even 30 yet, you bastard.
I always remember. I can't remember what job it was on. We were at a church, and I was chatting to some of the extras, some of these girls, and I was like, "Guess how old that guy is over there?" And they're like, "What? That guy over there?" And I was like, "35." They're like, "No way!" All right, and then you came over, started chatting to him, and then said hi or whatever, and then you left, and they looked at me. It's like, "Oh, he is 35, and he just dresses young." Love it. That was a
That
long
is
time
such
ago.
a good burn. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
true.
just great.
It is true. It's true. My goodness. Yeah.
But
Holding on.
guys, yeah, Wednesday is Will's birthday. Let's have some happy birthdays, please, guys. Let's get in touch with Will on all the socials and wish him a happy birthday. That'd be lovely. You
That
got
would be
any
lovely.
plans, mate? You gonna do anything, little cheeky meal
We
out or anything like that?
We're going to go down to a friend's place down in Cornwall and go out for dinner. Going to drag my parents down there and nice little restaurant. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to
Lovely. I'll get you a present. I'll get you something. I'll sort something
that.
out. Next question. Fatty, import Isaac. Near you, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Salah and Haaland underwhelm again. Are we sticking with
Mm.
them? Interesting. It's an
It's a very
interesting thought.
interesting. It's a really interesting one. I
I've got to say, just very
go on.
quickly before we get into this,
Yeah.
everyone who hasn't had Haaland in the last 2 weeks, obviously he hasn't done much the last couple. He hasn't returned. The people that haven't have had fantastic game weeks,
Really,
and
really incredible.
they've really where they might have struggled, where they didn't have the hat tricks, mate. They've got their own back now, and yeah, they've been flying. The non
Hmm.
Haaland owners. There's definitely an argument not to have one of them. I mean, I'll be keeping Haaland for City's run, but
Yeah.
Salah,
I can't. He's got to go. He's too expensive, and there's two like with Palmer and Saka. Like what either one of them, one this week for Saka, obviously the previous week Palmer. They're just too good. They're too good at the moment, and we're interesting to see the next few fixtures with for Chelsea and how they get on.
mm, I mentioned last week I was a little bit worried about Mo and about his performances, saying that he kind
Mm,
of started to remind me of how he was last year. Obviously, we know that he's on pens and Liverpool get a lot of pens. He's going to be chipping in with assists, and he is still a good asset. Don't get me wrong, but at that price, I think there are other options that are cheaper. Like you say, he's not getting as many shots. He's not as in as many attacking areas
yeah,
as we'd like him to be, and I don't think he's playing that well. And I
no,
didn't last year. I said like he's been great at the beginning of the year, but watching him as a Liverpool fan,
yeah,
he's wasteful and he's not as involved as other players. You got Jotas and your Diaz's are far more involved in play. Gakpo playing really
Gakpo,
well at the moment. He's
so
playing
good.
fantastic. Yeah,
It's,
like he's so unlucky to be behind Luis Diaz in the pecking order. He obviously started the weekend. We gave Diaz a rest, but Gakpo is on fantastic form and has been for like the last 6 months. Um, so yeah, Mo's not he's not topping my lists, and he wasn't anywhere near my wild card last week, and
yeah,
I've got no
that's
plans to bring him in.
interesting.
So I mean, if you have got him, I mean, well, we'll get to your team in a minute, but yeah, you
Yeah.
said. maybe he's going to be on the chopping block. If not this week, you might have other fires to put out. But it's Liverpool's run isn't particularly great.
A bit mixy, isn't it?
Liverpool got Chelsea and Arsenal next up, then Brighton and Villa. Also, not easy games. Obviously, we know Liverpool they're a good team, and with teams like Liverpool, you can just hold their attacking assets, and you know
Yeah.
that you're still going to get returns. It doesn't matter who they're playing, but you definitely can go against it for sure.
Totally. I think, yeah, but especially with people like Foden coming back into the fold, and many others, many other much cheaper midfielders, in fact, doing really, really well. So
Yeah, man.
interesting. Yeah, I think he's definitely one to look at.
So this week I got 47 points. I'm going to run through my team. Not great, 47 points, but I mean, I will take it, I think. It basically
Yeah.
worked out as a bit of a grey arrow for me. So in goal, I had Raya for 2 points. Trent got me 8 points. Vardiel, 1 point. Gabriel, 2 points. Luis Diaz, 1 point. Brian and Buemo, 8 points. Semenyo, 2 points. Saka, 16 points. John Duran, 1 point. Calvert-Lewin, 2 points. And Erling Haaland, Captain Erling, 2 points. So that's 4 points for Captain Erling. 2 points on my bench came from the Fulham boys, Smith Rowe and Robinson, point apiece. Greaves and Valdemarson didn't do anything. So 47 points. Underwhelming, but like I said, I will take it. It was a shame because, as I said last week, I was 50-50 on captaincy choice. It was head versus heart. Last week I said that heart said Saka, head said Haaland. I went with my head and it stung. It stung a little bit. You know, an extra 16 points or net 14 points, what it would have been, is
Yeah.
it would have been really, really helpful. Could have been great. But these are fine margins. Do you know what I mean? That was one small decision away from a decent haul there. So can't beat myself up too much about it. I wasn't far away from it, and like I say, basically got a green arrow. I think I went down 20,000 places, so I'm still about the 1.8 million mark at the moment. Mate, Fantasy Football Hub stings, man.
It
When you're
does.
looking at those live rankings, I
Yeah.
after Saturday, I was up 800k to like around a million, and I put a tweet out on X just saying, "Guys, why don't we just end the game week here? Right, we'll have enough points for one day. We all love international breaks. Let's just crack on." And yeah, I knew it was coming. I was more worried about Palmer killing me on the Sunday, which thank goodness he did not. But yeah, there was obviously still points that came in which hurt me quite a bit. That Brighton game, mate, that there was some action in that game.
It
Jesus.
was a fantastic game. Danny Welbeck, love him. Still love him. Still bringing him in. And we've all kind of just been. We talked about it, and we said, "Oh yeah, well now João Pedro's out. Welbeck's not a bad option, and he's still bringing in the points. So
Yeah.
another 8 points from him this week.
Yeah, he just keeps ticking away, man. He
Mm-hmm.
keeps ticking away. And like we knew that Brighton's run was getting tricky after game week
Yeah,
6. Like they've had Chelsea, Spurs, and there's Newcastle next.
yeah,
So that's why everyone's kind of they've fallen out of love with the Brighton assets.
yeah,
But yeah, he's like you say, with Pedro out, he's playing every game, still looking good.
yeah. Getting in the point.
And you know, Newcastle in game week 8 and then Wolves. Yeah, if you've got him, you're holding for sure.
Oh yeah,
But game week 12 is the one for Brighton because after game week 10, 11, they got Liverpool, Man City.
yeah.
Um,
Nasty.
so you're not looking to invest in Brighton right now, but yeah, you're
No.
definitely holding Welbeck, and he played really well, man.
Mm,
His goal actually, it was a really good team goal. I mean,
yeah.
they just, mate, they were hunted Spurs down for
The
that goal.
second half, they came out a completely different team, and they were just like they were hungry.
Like it was a poor performance from Spurs in the second half.
It was a shame. Yeah, Big Ange must be disappointed. It's annoying because strangely, I feel like he's under quite a lot of pressure, and I'm like, He shouldn't be. He's playing all right. They're playing great football. They've just not had, they've had some tricky games. They've not got the results. But there's no way should he be being looked at, being like, oh, is Big Ange going to continue there? It's like, don't be silly. Don't be silly. I hope he stays. I love him. Absolutely love him.
Oh, he's great, man, and he's had a good couple of results. We spoke about it, didn't we? They've had a good couple of results and been playing some really
Mm,
good attacking football. But mate,
yeah,
when Spurs lose, I was texting my lads about it yesterday.
yeah.
He's just like he's like when you've like caught a dog doing something naughty. He's just like he doesn't look anyone in the eye. His
Yeah.
head down. He's like he honestly he feels so sorry for himself. Like he's just like honestly like it's all right, mate.
Don't worry.
I just wish, like, sometimes he just kind of owns it a little bit more. He's just like, yeah, we
Yeah.
lost, didn't play that great, but he
He's
just
he's a
really gets
wounded
down in the
puppy.
dumps.
But yeah, they had a good game. Like the first half. I mean, Madison still looks good. Brennan Johnson, another goal. It's like
Oh,
it was like God, But then it's just they just. I don't know what it was. Was it Tottenham started playing badly, or did Brighton just start cooking? Like what was
I
it?
think the latter. I think the
Yeah,
latter.
that makes
They
Scott
really came. Like
rowdy.
I said, they came out
Yeah,
with the fire in their bellies, and they scored like within 2 minutes after
that's
the
it.
restart, and
Mm.
that just gets everyone going. And Spurs could barely catch breath, and obviously Brighton being the home team, they had the fans behind them,
Yeah,
doing everybody up, and
they were
Spurs
up for it.
just couldn't get a minute.
So I made a cracking choice right at the final minute. I was going to roll like really
I
quickly, and
saw.
then for the last minute, I was like, "Get Minto out. It's not going to have a good game. Bring in McNeil." And then, of course, Minto scores. So I'm just making bad decisions all around. But this is FPL. But anyway, it was a great game. Great game.
Mate, in your defence, I don't think it was a bad decision. You know,
Nah,
McNeil is for the future.
good game though.
So
Bloody
yeah,
good game.
tough for Spurs, and I don't know. Like again, I was just chatting about what's going on at Spurs. Like what
Mm,
why don't they push on? What is missing at Spurs? Because they have got a good team,
yeah,
and I don't know. It's a weird one. You can't really put your finger on it. And what we were saying that maybe like Conte said a couple of years ago before he left that this Spurs team just don't have the mentality to be like a successful team,
really.
and maybe that is something that they're trying to change that and just fighting with because their squad is good. They're
It's
like
brilliant.
the 1 to 11 is up there, and they shouldn't really be having any excuses now. When you're 2-0 up to Brighton, you should be seeing that out.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, maybe there is something going on, or Ange does have something to answer for. So
yeah.
um, Diaz for my team was benched.
Hmm.
There was a lot of got to say, social media saw this
Yeah,
coming. There was a lot of people saying that Diaz was going to be rested for this, and it turned
yeah,
out to be the case. I was happy to just leave him in. I wasn't going to swap him out for Smith Rowe. I thought, look, if he's benched, he's benched. He could
yeah,
still come on and do something, and he could have done. To be honest, he had chances when he came on, but
yeah.
I am kind of kicking myself for not sticking with Jota a little bit. I kind of thought he was going to get rotated a little bit, but the thing is, when you see Nunes come on, he's not at it at the moment, and I think his
No.
place is actually more secure than maybe we thought. I think everyone thought that Nunes would get a chance and Jota would be rotated more, but it's just not
Mm.
happening. I don't see it happening. Um, so it's something to keep an eye on. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a kind of over my next 3 weeks. Although I don't really want to get rid of Diaz, like there's point 0.7 in it now. They started at 7.5 each.
Yeah.
Diaz has gone up to 8.1
Yeah.
and Jota was 7.4 yesterday. So there's a big chunk of change in there,
Yeah.
which I could do with now. So I might end up doing a sideways move in a week or two. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Liverpool 1-0 win against Palace. It was mate, we
Tough.
should have been out of sight in the first half.
Yeah.
Palace were terrible. They had nothing. And then second half, we took our foot off the gas. Palace definitely should have had a penalty.
Yeah. Oh,
Super
yeah.
unlucky. Yeah, Van Dijk. Can't remember who he pulled down now.
um.
But yeah, just
Maybe.
grab. Oh, I think it was Gay actually pulled down
Yeah.
Gahey, and it was definitely a penalty. I'm really surprised that VAR didn't overturn that. But thank God they didn't. It was lovely, damn decent of them. And
Yeah.
Liverpool lived to fight another day. It was a big 3 points. Um, so yeah,
Gakpo.
happy with that.
Gakpo played really well.
Gakpo assist, yeah, Gakpo
Mm.
assist. Yeah, he played really well. Semenyo, 2 points from him. That was his kind of last game before I transfer him out. That was so he had Southampton and Leicester, which was keeping him in for. He's got Arsenal, Villa, and Man City next. So Semenyo is going to be out. I think I'm thinking about McNeil. I'm thinking about McNeil
He
for the next few.
he as I say, he definitely passes the eye test. I know he didn't get any returns this week, um, but he just looks so good. His shooting technique and his passing is great, and he's getting up there. He's getting up the pitch, and him and Calvin Lewin seem to be playing well. It's Calvin Lewin is again just doing what Calvin Lewin does, and has an odd
Trolling.
chance. Yeah, has the odd chance and should put him away, but just doesn't. But what do you expect?
Everton's next games: Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, Man United, Wolves. Really good run. So I think,
Surely there's some returns in
yeah,
there.
there's got to
Surely.
be. I
And
think
Pickford picked up a clean sheet and 15 points total. That was huge for Pickford owners. There's not many of them, I don't think, but
no.
that
Well, a lot
that
of people
defense.
started with Pickford, but I think most people have ditched him about now.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
think so.
if you have been patient, well played. Congratulations for you, mate. That was a great haul.
hmm
John Duran.
Jonathan.
It hurts me. The 2 weeks I've had him in, he's not done anything. Every other game he's played, he's come on and been magic.
Yeah,
Um, I think I'm going to have to ditch him. I think he's going to have to go. I
it
can't be
was
having players that are 6.1 million that I'm hoping on a
on a
a wonder
dream.
goal off the bench. I need some more minutes out of him.
Yeah, it was a terrible game. It was such a boring game. Neither side had just lacked quality. Full stop. Again, Rogers looked good. Always looks good. Um, Watkins again still looks good, but I didn't think Manchester United played well at all, and Villa should have spanked us, but I don't know how we managed to get a draw out of that game. To be perfectly honest, awful game. I don't know. We'll see. Ten Hag is still holding on. We'll see about today. I think there's big talks going on with the board today and tomorrow. So
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, they're all there because the whole gang were in the stadium yesterday, and they're straight into talks today, and like big meeting tomorrow, I believe. So we shall see.
Interesting.
And
You did
Rude and
say you did
yeah.
say you thought something could be happening for international
Yeah,
break.
yeah, I think
Um,
so. I think so. But
I mean,
well,
it was a tough game against Villa, away to Villa, so 0-0 is
yeah,
not a bad result.
it's not a bad result. Really good result for United. For Villa, not great.
But officially, Man United's worst ever start to a Premier League season, mate. I'll tell you what. So I'll tell you what. Probably the most upsetting thing for me this week in terms of my team,
Oh yeah.
Arsenal. Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. And this is the same for you, both Raya and Gabriel owners. Mate, can they not
Where
just keep a clean sheet? What happened to the good defending, man?
what
Like
happened to the
they
good old
went like the
days?
whole of last season or something without conceding a goal. Like, why can they not get a clean sheet against two of the worst teams in the Premier League in Leicester and
It's
Southampton?
so true.
Oh, mate, honestly,
We
that's really me off. And even worse, that Havertz is just like jamming in goals at the other end as well.
he's not. It's not fair because again, I mean, we had a fairly decent game, Havertz, in my
He's
opinion.
good, isn't he? He is
But
good, Havertz. He's
But like the game
quality.
before, like just such a lucky little goal. I mean, but he should be scoring more. Did I read though that he's? I mean, this is all probably just a load of rubbish, but he's not gone to the international break for some kind of injury. And there's quite a
Okay.
few players I think that are kind of just swerving the international break
Well,
again.
yeah, they'll all be coming out today or
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh, I've
Because the
got
last
tight,
one, suddenly like
tight.
half the England squad got injured, didn't they? Like
Yeah,
last one is like
yeah.
Watkins, Palmer, Saka. I was like, oh,
Ah,
oh,
oh,
I
tight.
can't do
Oh,
it, guys. I
I'm
can't.
tight
Yeah,
there. I've got a tight muscle strain.
yeah.
But yeah, ridiculous.
I
Mm.
really hope Kazi gets the job. By the way,
Oh,
I put a cheeky bet on a
oh,
while
did you?
ago
Did
that
you?
Kazi will be the next permanent manager.
Do you know
Got
who
a
I
cheeky
want?
120 quid if he comes in, if that comes in. So that'd be
Really?
lovely. Whether or
Oh,
not he's the right man for the job doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
120 quid in my
What's
Sky Rocket, mate. That's
what's
what I want.
do you know who I want? Off
Hey,
with all of the ongoing charges and legal battles at the moment. A certain Manchester City coach
oh, do you know how I want? The best manager in the world.
ever. Imagine if he went. Okay, I've won a few titles. I've won a few trophies in my time. One thing that I'd like to win is some international football, and I'm sure, obviously, he will do that for
Do you know
Spain.
what I'm
But
missing? Do you know what I'm missing? The Nations League. That's what I would love. Keep dreaming, bro. I don't care if it's your birthday this week, man. You're not getting Pep Guardiola anytime soon in the England pod. Did you see him speaking to Adama Traore?
I did. I thought,
I
he's
love
so
that.
classy. He's
I
so
love it.
classy to be like.
Yeah.
You could see he was actually coaching him.
Yeah, anyone who missed it at full time against Fulham, Pep went over to Adama Traore and just started coaching him, talking about his. Well, I think everyone was saying that he was talking about his finishing, like his movement in front of
Yeah,
goal. It's worth checking out. It's great. He's done that a few times. I remember he did it with what's that guy's name? He used to play for Birmingham, Southampton. Oh, this is a really terrible story. I'm not gonna remember it. It's my name one. I can't remember. It's gone. But yeah, no, Pep is so great at doing that. It's lovely to see.
yeah.
Anyway, so 47 points, all out for me. Could have done better, could have done worse. We go again, mate. It's only game week 7. Do you know what I mean?
It's
We're
only
fine.
game week 7. Thanks. Good
This time
shout.
last year, I was like kicking around 3 million. I had a terrible start, bought it back. So I'm laughing. What do you get, Will?
Well, speaking around kicking around 3 million, that's exactly where I've slipped to. I had at one point I had a little green arrow overall, and then then all the points came in yesterday or whatever, I don't know, and slipped back down even further into the abyss. But yeah, I didn't have a great week. It wasn't terrible. Again, totally wasn't. It wasn't the worst. Average points was 46. I scored 43. Same, yeah. So Raya and goal. Gabriel 2 points as well. With Raya, Trent Alexander-Arnold with 8. Pau Torres with a clean sheet, which was great for 6 points.
First clean
Lewis
sheet of the season from
first clean
Villa.
sheet. So yeah, and Pau Torres does get amongst it, and he did last season, and I'm quite happy with that pick. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
glad that he got
very
on.
quickly. Sorry, Will, to interrupt. We
That's all
saw
right.
Pau Torres do a lovely assist in the week, didn't we? Guys, I went to stay with Will this week and we watched the Villa Bayern game. And
Yeah.
obviously, John Duran did what John Duran does.
Oh my goodness.
Because he wasn't going to, he knew he wouldn't get many points. So he thought he'd go and perform.
What a
But
goal!
it was lovely to see you in the flesh, Will. Came and saw
Oh
Will and his lovely dog, Luna.
yeah.
Um, I've still got dog hair all over me, man. It's quite funny when I was on my way to Will's. I was like, "Do you need anything from the shop, mate?" He's like, "Cornetto," and also
Some beers.
get yourself some what do you call it? Antihistamines.
Anti.
Get yourself some antihistamines, Tom, because Luna is multi, and just got a lint roller by the door. It's like just before anybody leaves the house. Will's just, I'm sorry, I'm
Just
sorry.
sorry, mate. Sorry.
Just lint rollering everybody as they leave.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it was great to see you, Pickle, mate. Oh, it was so much fun. We had a
Yep.
lovely little mandate in front of the TV. Quick
Nando's,
cuddle.
beers.
Nando's. Beers,
Right.
kissing. But yeah, the Pau Torres assist was lovely and John Duran's finish was excellent. But Pau did great. He got me a cheeky little clean sheet, and I hope there is many more to come from him, Aston Villa. I have Rico Lewis again. I just think he is on the verge of getting some kind of return, but he obviously,
He got the assist. That's good. Good
yeah, he got a
start, isn't
little,
it?
got a little, got a little assist, and they really shouldn't have been conceding so many goals, but I thought he just played brilliant. I thought he absolutely played brilliant. Yeah, McNeil brought McNeil in. Thought he could. She had a few chances. Tough result for them, but so he only scored 2 points. Mbuamo 8 points again. What a game that was!
He
Just
did it
an
again, mate. Honestly,
absolute goal fest.
unbelievable.
I was like, I like had what's that app that we were talking about the other day? SofaScore.
Live. Oh yeah, Sofa
Oh
score, live
yeah,
score.
yeah, but they're both fantastic, and they just come in, and I was just like, goal, like goal sound, goal sound. I was like, what? Which game is this? And it was just Brentford versus
It's
Wolves.
mental.
But yeah, and Buamo scored me 8. Sorry, Eza still holding on to Eza. I've got to get rid of him. I've got fires to put out. I don't know how I'm going to do it. He's on the chopping block. He only scored 2. Mohamed Salah scored 3. Calvin Lewin 2 and Haaland for captain scored 4. And then my bench was Anana, Greaves, João Pedro and Fabianski, all with big fat zeros. So at least I made the right decision for benching players.
Just very quickly on the Brentford Wolves game.
Yeah,
Yeah, mate, Cunha he's been on my list. I've always earmarked him to bring in on
same.
game week 9. That's why I was talking about going down to
Yeah,
Jota, is so that I can afford Cunha. Could do
yep.
like I need like an extra half a mil from somewhere. Um, but Wolves are just like they're really getting on O'Neill's back now. The fans, they were singing "You don't know what you're doing." They're starting to turn. They're starting to get a little bit toxic there, which is really unfortunate because
Yeah.
they've been playing decent and they've had a really hard run.
They've
He
had the
just needs,
hardest run
yeah,
ever,
they
in my
really did.
opinion.
Like it was common knowledge that Wolves have been absolutely stuffed with the fixtures in the
It's
first
really,
9 game weeks, eight game weeks.
it's
But
just not
if they can
fair.
just get to game week 9,
Yeah.
right? Listen to this, right? Wolverhampton, game week 9, Brighton, Palace, Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester. There's a really strong run in there where he
Manchester
can turn it
United.
around. He
Put
just needs to
Manchester
get there.
United in there.
Manchester United.
The easiest game of the season.
Yeah. So, well, you'll have a new manager by then, so you'll
Yeah,
probably be a
definitely.
different animal.
True.
But yeah, they just need to hang with him and like Eight Nori as well. These are players that I really wanted for this run, but just all the negativity is just putting me off slightly. So it's one to watch. And Mbuemo, as you said, another quick goal. I love
Mhm.
the post-match interview with
Yeah, with Frank.
Thomas
Thomas
Frank.
Frank.
The interview is just like, "What took you so long?"
and he really loved it. He really bought
Yeah, he
into it.
did.
He's just like, I don't know. And he, like, the banter came straight back. I was
It
like,
was so
he's
good.
great.
Unbelievable how they keep
Pinnock as
doing these
well.
fast
Pinnock,
starts.
Pinnock got on the score sheet again. He
Yeah,
always gets amongst it,
yeah,
and
they're not keeping clean sheets at
no,
all, Brentford.
no,
But like, if there's a lot of people on Flecken. Yeah, they're nowhere near clean sheets. Very leaky, but they're looking great attacking. Considering they lost Ivan Toney and Visa, they're doing great. Do you know what I mean?
yep,
So their run's still good. So we're
yep.
still holding those guys. Man United, Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, Leicester next. And Bremo is great. He's a hold for me. And Bremo is potentially a season hold
I,
because he's just involved in everything. He's on pens.
it does everything you want from an FPL player for a reasonable
Yeah.
price.
What What are your early thoughts with your team? Like, I know you were talking about Eze, you've been talking about Salah. You've obviously got Anana who's flagged. I don't know when he's due back. He might be all right by the end of the international break. Obviously,
Mm.
you've got João Pedro out as well. What you're thinking at the moment?
To be honest, Tom, I don't really know. I know what I'd like to do, but it would cost me an absolute fortune with points deductions. I think my biggest problem at the moment is Eze. Like I don't mind leaving João Pedro alone. You know, if he's injured, he's injured. He's only 5.5, but Eze's just going down and down and down in value slowly, and they're just not it. they're just not it. And he like so Onana, I think I'll hold on to is only 5.1. I'd love to exchange him for um, for Rogers instead, but that's a sideways move. So I'm just going to leave him alone, and
Mm,
I'm just going to. And the defense is fine. Defense: Lewis, Trent, Powell, Gabriel, fine. Right. Hopefully they start getting some clean sheets. So it's just
yeah.
Eze really, and I don't.
What have you got? What have you got in the bank?
I've only got point 0.1 now. So ideally, I'd like to get Saka in there, I think. But I might do a cheeky little -4 to bring in like a Bowen and as a, like if I sell Salah and then as well at the same time to kind of
Yeah,
free up a bit of funds. But I
yeah.
don't know. It's tricky.
I like the Bowen shout because I
Mm,
mean he's gone under the radar so
he
far this year,
has.
Bowen, like
12
big time.
points 12 points in the last game against Ipswich. Obviously picked up the goal and an assist.
He's on 36 points, so he's like the same as Brennan Johnson. More, he's got 2 points more than Jota. He's got 2 points more than Smith Rowe, Semenyo. He's got 5 points more than Semenyo. So he's quietly doing better than a lot of players. 8 points more than Rogers. All these other players that we're talking about getting in, he's not being mentioned because of West Ham's form, but they won 4-1 at the weekend, and it was a goal and an assist for Bowen. Maybe with a little bit of confidence, they can turn this around now.
Yeah, something like that. But I think Eze's probably is a problem, and if need be, get rid of Salah to free up some funds. Do I just drop a little bit to like a Palmer or a Saka? Um,
Yeah, I mean, if you are thinking about downgrading Salah to free up some cash, I mean, it's tricky. Eze's at the moment, he's one of those players where he's got a good run, so it's like
yeah,
you could take him out and he could perform like
well that's a given.
Forest, Tottenham, Wolves, Fulham next. Like maybe it's Onana that maybe bites the bullet, and you're upgrading Onana and keeping Eze through that run.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's that is a classic FPL decision, though, isn't it? You see those fixtures, and you go, "Oh, I'll just hold him for one more week."
And the thing is with Eze, he could have scored in every game this season. Like
For
even against
sure.
Liverpool, he had a fantastic chance that he should have done better. He was 1-on-1. The new goalie came on. Liverpool, Alisson went off
Oh
injured.
yeah, I forgot
Kelleher
about
wasn't
that.
on the bench. I don't know why that was. I never chased up to where he was, but
No idea.
Yaros came on, and he played quite well actually when he came on,
Mm,
Yaros, and
yeah,
made a good save from Eze. But Eze should have finished that, mate. So yeah, Eze, we know he can do the damage. And Palace, I think they might actually use that Liverpool game as a bit of a bounce board of going, do you know what, guys, we weren't that far off getting some points there. They can build on that. And this next little run, that I think they could do a little bit better than what we've seen from them so far.
yeah. It just is the case that there isn't anyone else to support Eze. Like I know
Mm.
Mateta can do it. He can definitely, he had such a good run at the back end of the season, and Nketiah has just not quite hit the ground yet. I don't think. But God, I want him to do well. Really do want him to do well, but it's a shame. It's a tricky decision, but I think that's a really good point. Actually, maybe it's an Anana switch up.
Mm.
But we'll see. We'll see. What about you? What are you thinking? You got a couple of freebies, haven't you?
I've got two free transfers. I think Semenyo's definitely going to go because their run has ended now.
Hmm.
Run of good games. It gets tough for Bournemouth now, so he's out for me. I think the obvious choice at the moment is McNeil with Everton's runs,
Hmm.
and we discussed last week how involved McNeil is at the moment in all of Everton's play. With those fixtures, you got to be looking at McNeil, and that frees up a little bit of cash for me as well. Like I say, I'm kind of looking at the moment. I've got nothing in the bank at all. Semenyo is like for like 5.6 with McNeil. So if I want to go Duran to Cunha in game week 9, I need to find some extra cash from somewhere. So I'm thinking over the next couple of game weeks with my 3 free transfers, it's McNeil for Semenyo, maybe Diaz out for Jota, sideways move but freeing up a decent chunk of change so that then I can go Duran to Cunha is what I'm thinking at the moment.
I
I
like
could
that.
I could been off one of those moves. Maybe stick with Diaz and go to Liam Delap instead,
Interesting.
because I won't need the extra cash. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just because Cunha's more exotic. He's more fashionable. He's not English. Don't play for Ipswich Town. Do you know what I mean? It's like he looks. He's got more history in FPL, isn't he? We know that he's capable over a longer term. He was good last year when he wasn't
Mm.
injured.
Yeah,
So he's more appealing to me right now than Delap.
but then it's just Wolves, isn't it? It's
I know
those
exactly.
that run of fixtures is. I mean, they're bottom of the stack at the moment, but surely they
Who's
start getting
who's in better
some.
form right now? Ipswich or Wolves? Do you know what I mean? Liam Delap scored 3 and 2. I'm being
Yeah.
blindsided by history and
The
by a beautiful,
the
was he Brazilian? By a
yeah, I think
beautiful
so.
Brazilian man.
The thing is the one person that we have to bring up though in as an alternative is the Woodman himself,
Yeah,
Chris Wood
again,
again,
again, it's just
again.
not a fashionable pick, and I'm
He,
not interested in him, but I
right.
should be.
So that's when you're like, oh, he's not. When you said, oh, Cunha's like very exotic, and great. Chris Wood is the opposite. He's the
Yeah,
most boring player, but he gets results
I just
again.
look at him. You know what it is? I just look at him, and I just don't see his goals as being sustainable. I just
He,
don't think it's something that's going to keep up. But he
he
just keeps
does it.
chipping in. He just keeps going, doesn't he?
Can I just say that last season he scored 14 goals, 1 assist, and he got 131 points. That for your third striker or like second, third striker is
Yeah.
absolutely fine in my opinion. And he's already scored how many? One, two, three, four, five, six. No, that's not. That's just sorry. One, two, three, 4 goals. Sorry. It's like he's on
Mm,
course. 7 games, 4 goals. That's
I know.
tidy. It's tidy.
Mate. There's no reason why I shouldn't be looking at him. What's his ownership at the moment? Can we get him
His
in the team
ownership
sheet?
is 11.1. Classic.
Yeah, so I can't get him in there.
No.
Like, if you get him in and you're looking at their fixtures, right?
Mm.
Like, he's another kind of potential season hold. Like,
That's what
they
I'm
never
saying.
really have a particularly
They
bad run.
don't. They don't. I
Not
just looked at
not
that.
until like not until like game week 26, not
Yeah.
even, where they've got like Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City back to back. Otherwise, I mean, just pop him on the bench, pop him on the bench for those ones. But otherwise, just leave him, mate.
I,
What are we doing? Why don't we just
I,
get him in?
I must admit, I think I'm gonna that was the one thing that I was gonna sort of like that. We've all got our sneaky little like side moves that you're like keeping an eye on. Like the one we sort of said last week, like Madison's definitely like he's definitely tickling
Yeah,
away. Like again, we should have brought him in this week, picked up a goal, and Wood is the other one to just be like, I think I might just slide him in under the radar.
yeah. And also, like they've obviously got Awaniyi as well, and we know
Yeah,
he's good when he's fit. He's obviously not being fit. He's fit now, and he's trying to get in the team.
but you
It's
can't.
just another. Just another kind of question mark around Wood, but I'm not going to tell anyone not to get him. It's
Yeah,
something that
right.
I have that I'm trying to come to terms with. Yeah, I think the only person who could squeeze into my transfer plans is Jared Bowen, just because I think he's solid, mate. Like he's
Still on pens
like
as
you
well.
say, like with the fixtures and the form that West Ham have had, and he's still managing to perform. If
Mm,
they do turn a corner, then he's only going to get better.
yeah.
So he's definitely on my radar. Um, hey guys, those were our teams. Why
Mhm.
don't you come and play with us? Join our mini league. Don't you
Join
know you
on.
could win yourself a nice, fresh Premier League shirt for next season? So get involved. The link is in the bio to join the league, but the code is MUOMWR. Um, yeah, I got nothing else to say. I don't need to look at the standings at the moment. It's not important. But why don't you join the league? Check them out for yourselves. See what Will's up to, guys. Let's check in on the teen takedown. So, for those that don't know, Will's nephew Spike threw down the gauntlet to us, challenged us to a competition of Fantasy Premier League this year, and we accepted his challenge. We chose a differential team. He's got all the big guns. Did he outscore us this week? Did he? We both got 49 points after day one. After Saturday, I texted you, didn't I? Will going.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks pretty bad. He's gonna get away from us a little bit. We had a good Sunday. It's a good
we had a
Sunday of
good
football.
Sunday.
So it's annoying that Delict got dropped and didn't get us a
Right.
nice little clean sheet. We had Anana in goal. We had double City defence, which brought us in a nice 3 points between Akanji and Ruben Diaz. Delict 1 point, as I mentioned, didn't start the game. Came on at half time, I believe, didn't he?
Yep.
Robertson got 1 point. He also didn't start. Simicast got
Mhm.
the nod this weekend, but Madison 10 points.
Huge.
Bowen, there he is. Jared Bowen, 12 points. Dwight McNeil, 2 points. Bailey, 3 points.
Troll.
Trossard,
Little
right.
troll.
So on X last week, I put out saying, look, Semenyo had to go because Semenyo was over 10% owned.
Yeah.
Who shall I bring in? And we spoke about on the pod, the options were Jota, Trossard, Foden, and Johnson.
Mm.
Um,
We had a
yeah,
conversation on Thursday when he came and stayed, didn't he? We were like, right, who should we? We were on the sofa. And we were like, who should we bring in? And I was like, let's do Trossard. Definitely,
yeah.
he's always amongst it. Just didn't know. Didn't. We should have gone bloody Brennan Johnson. Absolutely. But then we were
Or
scared about the
Jota.
double spurt.
Do you
Or
know what I mean?
Jota. Yeah. Any of the other pits, well, apart from Foden. But Foden is looking better.
Yeah.
Um,
Foden's getting there now. I think he is one because we
right.
know that City's run is good. He's getting minutes again, so he's definitely got to be under consideration. But yeah,
Mhm.
we bought Trossard in, guys, and not only that, we only went and captained him as well. So
We
that
went
one
for it.
point got doubled to two. Um, could have had some other lovely options. We had Cunha up top, got us nice 9 points.
Yeah.
We benched Pau Torres' clean sheet. Mateta got a point. Still got Vissa kicking about because we ain't got enough money to sell him at the moment. Got enough points to sell him. Got too many fires to put out in this team. So anyway, 49 points. Luckily, we didn't have to take a -4 this week. Spike also got 49 points. How did he get on, Will? What's he got?
He didn't do too badly. Let me just add a little thing in there to say we were trying. I was trying to get him on the pod and get a little bit of feedback from him, but the boy's not very well. I didn't see him this weekend because obviously I'm here in Lyme Regis. But yeah, he was very
Oh,
under the weather, but apparently he's feeling a lot better. So we have he scored 49 points. What's going on?
sorry. Just for anyone watching on YouTube, that was my wife. She's just squeezing in to get her trainers. She's still not talking to me.
um,
She's still pissed off about the court case.
Gotcha. Fair play. So yeah, 49
Sorry.
points. Right, he had Raya in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold scored him 8 points. Gabriel 2. Van der Ven scored him 1 point. He had Saka in there for 16. Louis Diaz for 1. Semenyo 2. And Bramo 8. Rogers on 3. Captain Haaland for 4. And Calvin Lewin 2. Um, again, he had another bit of a stinker by... So he's brought Wood in, but put him at third sub.
Yeah.
And I don't. None of his subs would have come on, obviously, but he's done that 2 weeks in a row now, where he's had a lot of points on the bench. So I'm going to put that down to the fact he's been a little bit under the weather. But yeah, so I hope you feel better, Spike. But not unlucky to not
I'm going to
score.
put it down to the fact that he's a massive loser, mate. That's what it is.
You bastard.
He's the bastard, mate. This is our nemesis we're talking about.
He is, yeah. But I do love Spike.
So we are, as you were last week, both getting 49 points. He's on 376 and we are on 367. Still 9 points behind. It's all well and good when Haaland doesn't score. When he does, we tend to be in a little bit of trouble. So let's
Absolutely.
kind of needed to make a bit more hay while the sun was shining.
Yeah.
But we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. Right. Let's quickly go through. Last week we did Tom and Will predict.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see how we got on. So Palace versus Liverpool. We both said Liverpool win. We both got that right. Arsenal, Southampton. We both said home win. Both got that right. Brentford versus Wolves. You said Brentford, correct. I said it would be a draw. So I lost that one. Leicester versus Bournemouth. We both said away win, which was wrong. Leicester got their first victory of the season. Congratulations to them. Lovely goal
Congrats.
from Buonanotte.
Yep.
Man City versus Fulham. We both said home win, which is correct. West Ham versus Ipswich. You said away win. I said draw. Both incorrect. West
Yep.
Ham only went and turned up and smashed Ipswich, so fair play to them. Everton versus Newcastle. You said home win. I said draw. So I got that correct. You lost. Aston Villa versus Manchester United. We both said home win. Both incorrect. We did
Yeah.
terrible on Sunday, by the way. Chelsea
Yeah.
and Nottingham Forest. We both said home win. Both incorrect. That was a draw as well. And then Brighton versus Spurs. We both thought Spurs would keep up their good form, and Brighton's bubble would burst, and they were going to lose. But it turned out not to be the case. Brighton
Yeah. We were opposed.
backfiring once again. Very quickly on Chelsea.
Yes.
Great
Terrible.
stuff for Nottingham Forest. Keeping Cole Palmer quiet. We said that they were very capable of doing that. So luckily, that kept our scores semi decent, because if Palmer had hauled again, we'd have been in big trouble this
Yes.
weekend. So
Did you see that? Did you see that moment where where it was all obviously there was a big old tear up at one point, and Cole Palmer just went and had a sit down. He just wants
I
to play
missed that.
football. He just wants this all over socials today. He's like, Cole Palmer just wants to sit down. Like, he just wants to play football. He's like, oh, these guys, every player is having a scrap, and he just literally just goes, I'm just gonna chill and watch this.
Yeah. Guys, come on. Who won? So this week, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 correct. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 correct as well. So 40% success rate there. Maybe we should cut this from the show, actually.
Oh, I liked it. I do like
No, it's
it.
good,
I
mate.
think,
We'll do it again. We'll do it again next week. We'll do it.
yeah,
Again.
next week we'll come
It's good fun.
back to it.
Anyway, let's wrap this up, mate. Guys, we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for tuning in and getting involved. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please rate the show. Super helpful to us. Really appreciate it. Help us get out there, and you can help us do that.
Yeah, definitely get in touch on socials and drop some comments on YouTube, Tom and Will FPL on all the different platforms, and we'd love to hear from you.
Don't forget to say happy birthday on Wednesday, guys. Very exciting. Enjoy the international break. We'll see you next week, and we won't mention it. We'll just talk about Premier League. So that's something to look forward to. That's
wait.
a wrap. Hit the music.
Boom.
Do a 360.